Steve Stevens, good for you, you fucking asshole. I'm glad you decided to kill yourself. But maybe that's what you should have did before you decide to take a innocent life. A man, an innocent man's life because your girl broke up with you. Come on now. See, we are creating these people. They're creating a dual life. They're putting their social media life in front of who they really are. And instead of taking a breakup like, a normal person, this guy takes his gun, goes into a car, his vehicle, drives around, just randomly picks somebody, and he kills them. He kills them, and it's a sad thing when you go and just take somebody's life like that. And the guy's life that he took, I mean, come on, man. Come on. He looked for the most weakest, I don't want to say weakest, but he looked for just an innocent looking man, someone who looks like they wouldn't cause harm to anybody. And this is going to continue. People like this are going to continue doing stuff like this. And this is why I'm tired, and this is why I'm out here speaking, because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. That the social media is showing pictures of Stevens smiling, kind of like, look at me, everyone. It's kind of like they're saying, do it. Why are you going to show a picture of a psychopathic, murdering coward smiling? How do you think the family feels when, and the family's been really good. The family's been really good. But do you think they want to see a picture of this guy smiling? Smiling after taking Robert Goodwin Sr.'s life? 74-year-old man. 74-year-old man. He just took his life. And as I said before, this is not going to be the only one. This is not the only one. These murders are going to continue. People are going to start doing this because they feel their life means nothing. They have developed this whole aura that their social media life is a lot bigger than what they are. So if they can boost those numbers, fuck their life. They don't care about their life. They'll do whatever it takes to get numbers, to get status. And you start creating ideologies inside these people's minds, and they start creating their own crazed out religion on coming back to life or living the life inside of a computer. Boy, we are in trouble. We're going to be in trouble. We're definitely going to be in trouble. So here's the problem. I don't know if you guys ever seen the show Black Mirror. If you have not seen Black Mirror, you have to watch the episode. I believe, let me look it up right now. I believe it's Nosedive. Because this is where our society is going to. So let's see if we can bring it up. I can read a little about it. So here's an example. There's this woman, right? Now this is the future, and I see this in the future. It's a woman that everybody's life's based on social status. Everywhere you go, you give people ratings. The lower your ratings, the lower your place in society. You can't go to certain restaurants. You're not allowed certain buildings. You can lose your job. So this woman wants to buy a house, but she's a couple points under her social rating. So she decides to boost it up, and she happens to have a friend that has very high numbers. Not an actual friend, but somebody she went to school with. So she wants to go to her wedding, and she's going to go there and she's going to do a speech. By doing that, her numbers are going to boost. But on her way there, shit happens. This is where our society is going. People are so worried about being accepted by people on the computer rather than doing stuff in front of people that they're forgetting what reality is what it's about. We are just creating something more than what we can handle. This is great. This is why if you've ever been into acting, right? If you've even attempted acting for at least like 3 months, you go to audition. And when you go to audition, you get turned down. People cannot accept being turned down. That's why a lot of people aren't successful in the industry. There's something about being turned down. Now, take that and multiply it by 1,000. Because when you're turning down people online, or you're allowing people to see your life online, you're looking for trouble. And when people start saying stuff, a normal person can break and fall apart. And I'm not saying this guy, Steve Stevens, is normal. And media, 2 things you got to stop, okay? Don't call him Facebook killer. You're giving him a podium to stand on after his suicide for others to look at. And the other thing I mentioned earlier is smiling, because other people are going to get ideas. Look how happy he is now. I think I'll do that. But these people aren't going to go out the way he did. They're going to try to make it bigger. They're going to try to up the other person. And to them, they're like, so what? I die. Life doesn't have a meaning. People don't care about life anymore, especially their own. People just don't care. There's no repercussions. And I'm not blaming this, but if you look at our society, we bash our president, right? Whether you like Trump or you don't like him, or whatever it is, we allow somebody that we're supposed to look up to lead our country. We allow medias to bash on this person, and then we bash on them. So what are we teaching our kids? What are we teaching people, that maybe don't have a better understanding of how societies work? Look, he's our president. Deal with it. That's how it is. Deal with it. You don't have to like it, but you don't bash the guy. When you bash a guy, you're teaching these other countries, you're teaching these other people that America's a mess. You're teaching our kids not to have respect for higher authority. They're going to get into their classroom with a teacher that they don't like, and I'm like, you know what? Screw you. Why? Because we're teaching them that. We're allowing media to be third party. Now, your media might be Facebook, YouTube, what's the Snapchat, whatever you're on. You are allowing that to be the third party in your relationship. You're allowing that to be how would I say, an adaptation of who you are. And it shouldn't be like that. Because when people become unstable, they do crazy things. You allow someone to be unstable, they're going to post this stuff. They're going to do sick things. This guy was not mentally ill. He was not mentally crazy. Somebody was talking about that he was probably mentally ill, and that's why he didn't take, whatever, the breakup a certain way, and he just picked somebody to kill. He didn't just pick a random person. He found somebody away from everyone else that looked like he couldn't hurt a fly. He was holding a plastic. He went to protect himself with a plastic bag because that's all he had. He was a very this is messed up. That dude murdered that man. Not only murdered that man, he did it on TV. Not only did he just do it on TV, and it is. Don't say that Facebook is not live is not television. Television is a source of whether it's entertainment or information. That's what these devices, you have created your own television shows. That's what they are, and that's what he is living in. And when he got to the end, he's like, boom, kill myself. But why kill someone else? Why? What's the point of it? Because that dude is living in his own television reality. You can say that it's because, and I'm not saying it is, but you can say that our society is built on violence. You grow up as a kid watching violence. Violence becomes like it's nothing. Seeing somebody get murdered and killed, it's not a big thing. Look at the number one grossing movie, the Fate and the Furious. It's violent as hell, and I love those movies. I love movies. I'm a movie buff. But when a kid can't differentiate between that violence and real life violence, then there's a problem. If someone sees something on television or they lived a certain way, killing somebody, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's not until they're being apprehended that they realize, uh-oh, and they just kill themselves. Just like we had in this scenario, that's what happened with this situation. This guy killed himself, but it wasn't until after he took somebody else's life. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I don't want to hear this bullshit about gun laws and we shouldn't have guns. Let me tell you something. Criminals are going to get guns regardless. If you think that that's the answer, you are in a lot of trouble. You're living in that Disneyland reality world. I like that certain people think that things can't happen to them. Things happen to people. This could have been your father. This could have been your brother, your husband. This could have been your great grandfather walking around. It's sick. And this gets me. Do not compare this guy. It says the closest analogy to the case that people are drawing on Twitter is to Christopher Dorner, and that didn't end very well for Dorner. He was a total different case. Dorner, and this guy are something totally different. Don't mix and compare the two, and don't give him a fucking name. He is not Facebook killer, because now the next person's going to be like, I want to be the Instagram killer. And that's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get. And that's what we don't want to see. We don't want to see that at all. And, the girlfriend that Stevens blamed for this, this horrific act. What's her name? Her name is Joy Lane. I think that's her name. Don't quote me. Yeah, that's her name. Joy Lane. See, some news stations have referred to Lane as Stevens' ex-wife. See, this is the fucking problem. This is the problem with these media hounds, right? They just say shit to get ratings. There should be fucking repercussions for putting out misleading information. If you don't have the real story, if you don't have the real knowledge, you shouldn't be able to use your resources and put it online, especially when you're like CNN, Fox, CBS, these, the big hitters, right? You should not be able to go out there, because once it's out there, it's already, the damage is done. You can come back later and try to change it, but nobody's looking at the story later. It's what you see now. What you see now. We are a violent society, and that's just the way it is. But our violence is contained, right? We see another country blow up something, or look at what's happening in Syria. Look at what's happening, in Afghanistan. Look at these countries. Look at how they live. A lot of these people, they've lost their mothers, sisters, brothers. They've had to bury them. They've had to collect body pieces to put them together for the burial. That's real violence. We're living in a contained violence to where we don't necessarily have to worry about very heavy criminal, terroristic-like activity. I mean, black people had to deal with it, right? Think about the Black Wall Street, Tulsa Greenwood, the biggest terrorist attack on people in the United States ever. People don't tell you about that. People don't know about that. They don't want you to know what's really happening. We like to contain shit as a country and like to keep quiet about stuff. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Somebody was talking about an algorithm for violence. There's one an algorithm on happiness. I heard about one on violence. And if you haven't seen the video, you know what? I know the family, it'd be terrible for the family, but to watch the whole video of him, I found it. It's online. Got to go somewhere online to find it. Down a rabbit hole. You'll figure it out if you're savvy enough. And watch what he did. Watch the actual killing. This is sick. This is sick. And these people are doing this and making videos of it. These are the same people who watch somebody get robbed or beaten up, and instead of helping them, they take a video of it. Why are you going to videotape it? Who are you going to document it? Do you want to give it to somebody? Do you want the world to see your work like this guy? He just wanted he wanted the world to see what he was going through. This guy said, find me somebody I'm about to kill. I'm going to kill this guy right here. When do you think about this? Think how you are. Just think as people in general. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of, not what this guy did, but I want you to walk around and look at somebody and go, I'm going to kill him. It's wrong, right? You'd be, who thinks like that? Now, the next step is this guy acted upon it. To walk around and look at just a random person and say, I'm going to kill this person right here. I'm going to drive around that person I want to kill. And then document it. Where's it going to stop? It's going to stop if we stop putting the wrong if we stop putting the wrong information out. It's going to stop when we stop showing this dude smiling. It's going to stop when we stop amplifying the glorious happiness that this guy is living after his death through the pictures of him smiling. Take that shit offline. Shame on you. Shame on you. You use your fucking resources for a good thing, and then you go out there and ruin it and show pictures. And what did this guy, and look, he just wants fucking attention. I think this was Facebook. Bridget Tamar Berry, I killed 15 today because of Join Lane. Most are in the 105 area behind abandoned house. Tell Jim I'm calling off today. What the fuck is that? Yo, I killed 15 people. They're in the 105 area. Oh, by the way, tell Jim I'm calling off tomorrow. Dude, no shit. You just killed, or you're claiming to kill this many people. Why is it important to tell Jim that you're calling off tomorrow? Are you going to come in the next day? No. And you know what? You know what? We aren't going to get the real story, right? We're not going to get what this guy was thinking because he was a fucking coward. So it says, what's this? It says, Joy Lane, the comedian, has posted on Facebook that she is not the Joy Lane who Steven's girlfriend's writing. I'm Joy Lane, the comedian. I don't know anyone in Cleveland. So stop with the threats and pleading for me to call this man that I don't know. See, this is a problem. People see a name and they're like, oh, you, it's your fault. This is your, and they haven't even identified exactly who that fucking person is. And just because there's a name or based upon a name, or maybe they heard somebody else say that that's the person, they just jump to fucking conclusions. There should be repercussions for jumping to conclusions, right? We have repercussions if we're texting and talking on the phone when we're driving, right? We take money away. You hop on the carpool, right? You commit a certain crime and you got to do community service. They should have repercussions for putting out wrong fucking information or attacking people based upon digital knowledge. That's how it should be. And like this, I'm reading this. I don't even know how true. It says, Lane said she was sorry. She was sorry. See, I like to really look into words. You got to really look into words and what people say. Just don't read through it. That's our problem. I was watching an interview with Tupac, and he was talking about, like, listen to rappers, listen to the words that they're saying. Just don't listen to the beat. Don't get stuck on the beat. And I think sometimes there's no beat in this, but we just read through it. We glance through it and don't actually look at the words. It says Lane said she was sorry for what happened, but called Stevens a nice guy. And this is misleading. If maybe that's what she dealt with. She's like, oh, he was. I'm sorry for what he did, and but normally he's a nice guy. All right, so she's just talking and telling you something, but the media turns it and says, oh, she's sorry for what she did, but called Steven a nice guy. And this is our problem. This is our problem. She said, Elaine has described herself as Steven's longtime girlfriend. She said that they had been dating for years and that she wanted to express condolences to the family members of Goodwin. Now, people are going to look at her like she's wrong. And like they even hit up that other Joy Lane and was threatening her. What do you think they're going to do to her? Why was it this woman's fault? This guy took it upon himself to do something fucking crazy. He took it upon himself. And again, back to fucking social media. She hops back on social media and then she puts, this is the fastest way to update everybody. I am safe and with the police. I am not okay. This is a lot. I can't believe this is happening. I am very sad for everyone involved. I am praying for them and I am praying for Steve. He needs help. See, she's not in the right mind. If you've ever watched fighting, when a fighter gets knocked out and they give him the mic, they say the craziest shit. And it's not something they would normally say. It's because you're not in the right mindset. A lot of stuff is going on. This lady is not in the right mindset. And she's just sharing stuff, putting sad faces and updating everybody on what's occurring. Who gives a shit? Shut your mouth. Be quiet. Close all your social media. Close it. Just get off that shit. And what somebody else is like, Joy Lane had no responsibility in this. I do pray she helps authorities find him. People got to stop being mean to this woman, though, right? Look, that's how it is. That's how the industry is. Here's another one. Dee's Greek Shop. This is a small world. I am Facebook friends with this young lady, Joy Lane from Cleveland. Look, he just wants to get his fucking 15 minutes of fame too. Dee's Greek Shop. I want my fame too. I'm going to write about this. Listen to this. This is a small world. I am Facebook friends with this young lady, Joy Lane from Cleveland. He didn't say that that me and her are friends. We're Facebook friends. And that's it. Like a friend from work. But she's a Facebook friend. Then he posted pictures of her and with her family and smiling just to say something. The ex-girlfriend of the Cleveland Facebook Live shooter on Today. This is such a sad affair. I pray for all of the victim's family. With two sad emojis. Dude, we got to get off this. We got to get off this. This is going to be our downfall. Like, this is what's going to tear down. Because people can't agree on shit. Right? People can't agree on shit. They lose their fucking mind. They go on these these phones. They use these live podcasts or whatever they use, whether it's live or they're letting it play later or they're tweeting. People like this are very dangerous for our society. And you have to know that. You have to know. And if you ever get yourself involved or around something like this, don't go on social media and post it for everybody else to see. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Know what you need to do is back away from them. Don't be involved and separate. Because you might be the next person on their list. Or they might kill somebody and put you in a place to where that makes you involved, like this guy's girlfriend. This one says Lane teaches at a university, and Stevens said Lane drove him crazy in the Facebook murder video. What else do we see? And they just keep fucking posting stuff. She posted more stuff on her LinkedIn page. Somebody else that knows them posted a picture of them together holding each other. You people are making shit worse. And the fact that you guys don't give a shit shows what type of people you are. Shows you what we're dealing with. And that's it. That's what we have to deal with. Look, all I'm saying is don't glorify this guy. Don't put him on a pedestal. Because there's going to be people who want to be on a higher pedestal. Keep that in mind.